everybody. Hi, it's Becky from powertoolswiththread.com. That's my blog. We just got back from a great weekend at the coast. It was my birthday weekend, and there was a brand new steakhouse that was opening up down there. That's a big deal in that little town. And they had live music, and the food was wonderful, and we got to spend it with new friends and old. Hi, Pauline. And we just really enjoyed ourselves. I just wanted to catch you guys up on where things are, what's going on and whatnot. I did receive a couple of birthday presents, and I want to share those with you guys. I had received from Linda this is a fabulous card. It's a beautiful card. Look, she crocheted some balloons for me. How nice is that? Isn't that amazing? This is not something you just toss. I love this. It's a keepsake and an heirloom. I really appreciate it. She also shared a couple of little bracelets with me, and this one is for kids. It's going to my granddaughter, and it's got little pirates, and on the beads can you see the little pirates? My granddaughter, the 12-year-old, totally into that whole haunted high, and she will love this. She loves doing all that kind of, what is that called? It's like Barbies, but they're kind of ghoulish. Whatever. That's not my thing. She will love that. Thank you for thinking of her. And then she got me this one, and it has blue bonnets with beautiful little beads. Isn't that pretty? Just gorgeous. Look, it says, Becky, happy birthday to you. We are going to a FFA, which is Future Farmers of America. We're going to an FFA event on Saturday here in my local town, and it's going to be a lot of fun, and this will be absolutely beautiful with my outfit. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. And then from Joy, my blogger buddy Joy up in Oklahoma, she sent me a gorgeous calendar. Look at the colors on this. There's scripture for each month. Isn't that beautiful? I just love this. Joy, this is perfect for the colors in my new sewing room next year. Thank you. I love it. And she also sent along, it's a pad of little note papers. I've already put them to use. So thank you very much. It will be used the entire year long, and then I'll probably I like to keep the extra pages. You can even frame them and put them up when you're done with them. Really nice stuff. Thank you. Got a birthday card from my stepmom, Sandy. Thank you. And I also received from my new sewing friend, Pauline. She gave me a very nice card. Saw her this weekend down at the coast. Very nice card. Y'all, a whole selection of Yankee candles. Isn't this great? She's from up Massachusetts way. Gifted me with all kinds of neat stuff. This is apple cider that are local to her home up there. Look at this. Maple syrup with a neat maple leaf. Look at that, you guys. Isn't this awesome? I just love it. And some smelly gels. This one, Gel 10 Summer Daydream, again by Yankee Candle. And here are some pure maple candies. I've never been in that part of the world. I've never been up there. I need to go. One of my ancestors helped found Springfield, Massachusetts. His statue is up in front of the library up there, Deacon Samuel Chapin. Here is Bahama Breeze, another little scented gel. Thank you very much. I love to have, and oh, there was a bigger candle too, and I left that at the coast. I like to have the candles going when I am cooking anything that's greasy, so it doesn't kind of takes care of the smell. This is awesome. I am so incredibly blessed to have people known to me, and then people like you, my viewers, who are, have I met you? No, but we reach out across the miles to each other, and I am just incredibly blessed to have all of you in my life. So thank you, every one of you. And your emails that came in, I got birthday wishes from people. Yeah, maybe they paid attention last year. I don't know. And they're like, oh, it's Peggy's birthday. So just really nice, you guys. I really appreciate it. My husband foot the bill at the steakhouse for everybody, so that was kind of cool. That's his gift. And I just love having, you know, my friends around me. So it was great. They had a couple of bands and, oh, the place was packed. I wanted to let you guys know that this is for November's Villa Rosa Designs Club. I have the club kit with the 5 quilt patterns that come in and the 2 table runners. And the 5 quilt patterns are $8.95 a month, and that includes shipping. And so you don't have to go out to the store, you know, and you can just get, and it's kind of a surprise. And then the other ones are $1.75 each. And so I get both of those for the table runners. But these are very pretty. This one is Wellington, and it is perfect for a layer cake. It calls for 20 10-inch squares. And then it's got some sashing between it. And here is Out West. This one is great if you have like a panel that you would want to use, any kind of panel. That's what's really nice about these Villa Rosa designs. Did that have the thing on it the whole time? Sorry, guys. The light reflection. These Villa Rosa designs are great because they're really just to give you an idea. And then on the back, they're going to tell you what you need, and you can make your own decision from there of the kind of fabric that you want to use. Here is Salt and Pepper. This takes 14 fat quarters. It's very nice. And put this over here. And that light. I can't wait. In my new room, I'm going to have like a studio, which will be cool. I'm going to have lighting up above. It'll be neat, right? My husband's so indulgent. This is Be Charming, and Be Charming takes 36 5-inch squares. You can use a single charm pack with background fabric and make all that work. That's very nice. Here is Rail Fence, a traditional and oldie but a goodie, 2.5-inch strips. How to make a beautiful rail fence pattern. And then the 2 table runners. This one takes 5-inch charm squares. It is called Blissful. Beautiful little table runner, very easy to make. That would look great in holiday fabrics, wouldn't it? And then here's another one, Harvest. And it takes fat quarters. It looks like 1, 2, 3 fat quarters and a little bit of yardage for some binding. So very nice, very nice. Lots of opportunities to use up your stash. I love it when these patterns come in. Very, very cool. So, y'all ever watch that Jean Robertson? She's a comedian. She's got some stuff on YouTube. Very clean humor, very funny. She's an older lady, and she gets up on stage and she goes around to these different places and she gives talks, as she calls it. But she's hilarious. And I have been watching her and whatnot, and her husband. So she's very, she calls herself right-brained. She's very, you know, kind of crafty and artsy-fartsy and that kind of thing. Well, her husband is very left-brained. And so she likes to tell these anecdotes about, you know, left brain, because he's very analytical and he thinks different than her. And the stories she tells about him are just hilarious. So anyway, the reason I brought that up is because I wanted to show you guys how far along I had gotten on my sew by row. So this is the sew by row. It is a block of the month. Actually, it's a row of the month by Lori Holt. I've shown this the last couple of videos, and this is the one I'm working on. And the first row that we made were the scissor blocks, and there are 7 pairs of scissors. Okay. So I've gone through them all. I have all of my 7 pairs of scissors blocks done, and they just turned out as cute as they could be, right? And one of the things that I have trouble with, as you can see, they're all different colors, okay? And one of the things that I have trouble with is knowing, because I'm like left brain. I have a hard time knowing what color order these need to go in. And by default, I'll follow the pattern. If I have a picture, I'll follow it. Well, the colors that are in this picture are not the colors I received in my kit. And so that left me kind of stuck. And so I thought, well, I have one of those cool little color wheels, you know? So I'll look at, like, this one is kind of a little magenta, and I will find the magenta and I will put my little arrow to it. And so if it uses magenta up here, then next to it I'll put this little green. Well, that worked out kind of sort of okay, but I ended up having it didn't work out because the colors that I have don't match exactly side by side. And so I was very like, oh, I don't want to mess this up. I don't know what color to put next to each other. Those of you that can do that, God bless you. I can't. Again, I'll tell you guys, I was in the military for 20 years because I cannot put an outfit together. You know, Joy, she's like, oh, look at this blouse and that color matches these pants perfectly and I'm going to make that up and ta-da. No, I would go into a store, look at the mannequin that had an outfit on and say, I want all of that down to the shoes, because I am not that doesn't come easy to me at all, but I'm really, really good at following a pattern. So I'm going through this thing and I'm like, well, what order do I need to put my scissors in so they look pretty? Because you want it to be pleasing. And I know people get paid for this, right? So I actually had to go through the book. And for those of you who are not familiar with the book, there's a load of information in this book that is not in the part with the pattern. So here's my first beef. Don't get me wrong. Love Lori Holt's designs. Love the fabric. Love all of it. Not real happy because my left brain doesn't jive well with how the directions are given in the pattern. So the very first block, like I told you guys, is the scissors, okay? So they give you this whole, I'm gonna put my birthday card up so I don't, give it away. So here's this whole scissor block that they give you. And I have the alphabetties, so I did, I cut all of the pieces out like it said, and here's A, and here's B, and C, and D, and blah, blah, blah. And they tell you in here, like it'll tell you, here's A, cut 14 of those. Here's B, cut 14 of those. Here's C, cut 14 of those. And they go on down and they give you all of the fabric you're supposed to cut. Okay, that's good. So then you start going through the instructions. And right here, so it says, take piece I and 2 pieces of piece G and sew them like that. And that's going to be the top. That's the top of your little handle, right? That's this right up here. That's the top of your little handle, okay? Right? So I get that done, and instead of saying, it calls it Unit 1. It needs one more sentence that says, make 2 of each color. But it doesn't. And it says, repeat. Piece G with right side down on either side of piece J, repeat. Okay, so there's 2. It doesn't, instead of saying repeat, to me it should say make 2. It doesn't. It says repeat. Like, that's, tomato, tomato, whatever. So then you start going through it, and it has you make a little unit that is the top of the scissors. It should say make 7, and it doesn't. It waits until it gets all the way to the end of the pattern down here, and it says complete 7 scissor blocks with varying handle fabrics. It waits to tell you to make 7 down here at the bottom. But my brain doesn't work like that. My brain says, I'm going to have, each one of these scissor blocks has 2 handle tops. So I need to make 14 because there's 7 pairs of scissors. And that's how I sew. If I'm going to cut all the fabrics at once, I sewed all of these blocks at one time, all of these blocks at one time, all of these blocks at one time, all of these strips at one time, all of these blocks at one time. And then I put them together, and I have to put everything together because of the way the angle, I have to do everything at once for all 7 pair at one time. because of the way the fabric has to be angled in order to be able to get that little bitty angle right and it fold over right. And anyway, those of you that are making the pattern, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So that was kind of, I'm like, yeah, okay. My left brain had to think about something that was not written down. This is fine. I'm fairly organized. I can handle it. So then I'm like, well, the picture on the back doesn't match the fabric colors that I have from my kit. Well, now, how do they go? I don't know how they go. Well, it tells you. But you got to go all the way to the back. And they have, on page 25, it's called a fabric placement guide. Right there on page 25. Those colors in the fabric placement guide match the fabrics that I received. Does it say in the scissor pattern? Go to page 25 and look at the fabric placement guide to see what order they go in. No, it does not. Okay. Here's another thing. So I know by looking at the pattern, there is sashing. By looking at the picture, okay, there is sashing in between each one of these blocks. Well, how do I know how wide to make I know how tall to make it. It's got to be the same height as the block. Well, how do I know how tall? It never told me in the scissor block pattern at all. It never said anything about it. And I looked and I looked and I looked and I'm like, oh, there's got to be something. So then I told you, Joy, I'd already put these little things to use. So then I'm digging around and I see here's the embroidery guides. Here's the embroidery guides. Okay. So I know I'm going to have to do some embroidery. Oh, while I'm on this, sounds like air life is going over my house. We generally don't get too many aircraft flying over right here. There's a bunch of buttons that are used in this pattern. Like on the top of the little pin cushions, it's got 3 little buttons that need to be embroidered on, hand sewn on top of the needles. And then on the sewing machines, there's a load of buttons, see, across the front of the sewing machines. All right? Well, I went out to Fat Quarter Shop last week, and they're like $9 for 300 buttons, but all of the buttons are the same shade, and they're the right size for the colors of the fabric. With shipping, it's like $15 for buttons. Oh, yeah. But like I said before, this is going to be the statement quilt in my new sewing room, so I just went ahead and sucked it up and bought the buttons. Okay, so enough about the buttons. Now, so I find this quilt layout diagram right here. This is great, okay? So here's the quilt layout diagram. Aha! As I suspected, there is sashing in between these rows of scissors. It still doesn't tell me how wide to make it. It still doesn't tell me. It says scissor row, piece SSA. That's sashing scissors. And I know that because the next row, the pincushion row, is SPA. So SP is sashing pincushions. So I'm assuming piece SS, my left brain, says piece SSA between blocks is sashing scissors, and SSB are the ends, which it says it right here, okay? Well, I don't know how wide to make them. How do I know how wide to make the sashing? Go digging through the book some more. Instead of putting SSA and the size of the strip, I gotta go looking somewhere else, okay? So I keep digging through here. The background fabric for the scissors that was sent is, and you have to be up here in the front. You have to be up here in the front. The background fabric for the scissors, it says it right here. Scissors, Shabby Sweet Mint Cloud. Okay? Shabby Sweet Mint Cloud is the background, the A's and the B's and all that. Okay? That's the fabric. That's the green. You get plenty of it. Okay? Not a thing on this cutting guide. Not a thing about sashing. Not a bit. Why? Why not? That's crazy. So then, who doesn't put sashing? Well, this place didn't. So you keep digging through the book, and in the book, there are pages and pages and pages in the book. So you have the fabric placement guides I told you about, that'll tell you which one goes where. And then you have the fabric cutting guide in the back, okay? So I go flipping through here to find the shabby sweet mint cloud. And it goes through and once again tells you all of the pieces you need to cut and the sizes you need to cut, just like they had for the pattern. And down here at the bottom, it says... down here at the bottom it says sashing. Cut 6 of those and 2 of those. Now when did they do that? Y'all, I'm done torn the book apart. It's just like, really? Why do y'all try to make my life so hard? What did I ever do to you? If you're a beginner quilter, you would not know to go digging for that. You're at a loss. And I know when you first get it, it says, read the entire thing cover to cover and see if there's any problems. Right there, first thing, you need to go read the whole book. Well, how about a reference? See page 25 for, or put it right there. Anyway, see page 25 for how to lay these out. See page 20. See page 33 to see how big to make the sashing. See page 33. How hard would that be? Anyway. You guys. If I was writing pattern books, it'd be a lot easier. I'm just telling you. Okay. Look what else came in. My Merry and Bright thread kit from OESD. So excited to make this. We're going to start this embroider along on July 6th. And we will get it done through the month of July. So you are one and done. You'll have time to get it bound and everything. And you'll have plenty of time to get this done before the holidays. Matter of fact, Christmas decorating will come around and you'll go, oh, I forgot I made that. But I want to get this done next July. I've put links again below to the Merry and Bright in the description box. And it is an embroider along. This is a tiling scene that we will make. And it's got 32 tiles in it, or 35 tiles in it. I think it's 5 across and 7 down. And if you have the giant hoop for the Luminaire or the Solaris, you can actually make 3 tiles at one time. So I'm going to be making 3 tiles at a time, and Spanky back here, my 10 needle, and I'm going to be using the camera to make sure that everything fits on there. And it's going to be a lot of fun to actually stitch this out and get it done together. So I'm really excited to start it. So I got the thread in. I could open it up, but y'all, it's kind of boring, I mean, they make it look pretty on the box, but when you get it opened up here, it's just a brown box inside, and they give you all your spools. You get all your spools, so very exciting about that. All right, I got in my Dottie Sampler Quilt Block of the Month pattern. Most of y'all haven't gotten it yet. It's going to come in the Creative Notions bag for December, and you will get this pattern. I reached out to Vicki since I've got to get it sewn up for her and get that back to her. And I'm also doing a big quilt block for the back that will have everybody who participated in it, and I'm going to make that in the Luminaire and get it all, because I need a big hoop in order to be able to get that all stitched out. So, all right, you guys, I think that's all I had to talk to you about today. I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend and have a very pleasant week coming up. Tomorrow, I will put out the video on doing the little lamb for the Kimberbell Happy Hoop Decor, and I'm going to try to zip through the rest of those. I was going through them this weekend. I made quite a few. So, All right, we'll talk to you soon. Go sew something. Bye.